welcome back to my YouTube channel. Now today's video is going to be the first video in my brand new mini series all about common gym mistakes and how to fix them. So I thought I'd start off the series with one of, probably the most common, basic, fundamental exercise that you guys all should be getting right, and that is the squat. Even though it is a basic movement pattern, it is still something that I see getting wrong in gyms all the time. So this video is going to break down exactly what mistakes are common and how we're going to fix them. This series is going to look at different exercises and also focus on specific body parts. So if you guys had any suggestions on what you want to see from me in terms of exercises or any body part that you seem to have trouble with in the gym, then please leave your comments in the box below. And before we get into it, I just want to point out that today's video is really just focused on the absolute basics for getting your squat correct. Now, I could go into so much more detail on how to perfect your technique, but again, I just wanted to really focus on covering the basics, especially for those beginners out there. So let's head into the gym. Here I am performing the squat with incorrect form. The mistakes with form I'm making are very, very common ones. So you will notice that my knees are caving in. The bar is not tight on my back and my head is not in a neutral position. I'm actually looking up, which is a bad position for my neck. My back is also hyperextending at the top of the squat due to a butt squeeze. You do not need to thrust your hips forward at the top of the squat. Your glutes are under the most amount of engagement and tension at the bottom of the squat when the muscle is in a stretched position. So no ugly butt squeeze at the top of your squats are needed. You'll also see I'm not hitting a sufficient depth here. You should be aiming to break parallel to get the most benefit in muscle recruitment and power. If you struggle to hit depth, back off the weight a little bit. Another tip for increasing depth is by adding plates under your heels to elevate them, as you can see here. The elevation of your heels helps with ankle mobility and therefore dropping deeper into the squat. Here I am demonstrating the squat with correct form. I'm doing it body weight only here just to show you the movement pattern. You should practice your squat form without any weights first if you're a beginner at the gym, before then progressing. Now I'm moving on to showing you how to squat with the barbell on your back. For the purpose of this video, I'm doing it with a high bar positioning where the bar is resting at the base of my neck and my torso is in an upright position. The bar is tight on my back as I'm pulling it down tight and my elbows and shoulder blades are locked in back. My chest is up, my head is neutral, and my stance is just outside shoulder width apart and my toes are turned out slightly. Please note that stance varies from individual to individual, so find what feels comfortable for you. As I squat down, I focus on driving my knees out to avoid them caving in. Our knees should be tracking in line with your feet. Adding a resistance band initially can help with cueing for your knees out. As I come out of the bottom of the squat, I focus on pushing into the ground through my heel and midfoot. This allows for proper force transfer and a stable base. When you are squatting, make sure that you have a neutral arch when you stand. This means that no rounding or no excess arching are needed. No butt squeeze, girls. With each rep, I'm keeping my core braced and locked on tight. Between each reps, I am taking a breath and then holding it and then exhaling at the top. So breathing technique is a big breath at the top, holding it at the bottom, and then exhaling it at the top. I'm also resetting between each reps to keep tightness. There are many different variations when it comes to squatting. There are things like high bar, low bar, front squat, hack squat. You can do a heels elevated squat. There are just so many variations that you can do, but it all comes back to getting this basic movement pattern on point before then looking at things like increasing load and number of reps, number of sets. You really need to start back with the basics before then building upon this. It's important if you are a beginner to try these exercises such as a squat with body weight only first, just so that you can get used to this technique and really ensure that you are getting it on point before then you are picking up the bar. I know a lot of people who tend to lift way too heavy and their form just goes completely out the window. You need to make sure that you are not compromising your form when it comes to lifting weights. You want to make sure that your form is everything. You don't want to be lifting so much that you are just completely breaking down and you are failing from technical errors. It's important to lift within your means and your capability so that you aren't breaking down on technique. Anyway, that is a wrap on today's squat tutorial how-to video, and I hope that you really learned something from this and have taken away something when it comes to those common mistakes that you might see in the gym, maybe you yourself are making when it comes to squat, and how we can go about fixing them. So thanks again, guys. If you are new to my channel, make sure that you please hit the subscribe button. And if you have any new ideas for what you want to see within this little series, please leave them below, but I will see you on my next video.